I just want to say that I'm repulsed. This is not the future, and not only is it not the future, but I catch the goddamn churches or anyone else playing with certain things. If you knew who I really was, you would be so fucking afraid you'd be shaking in your boots. That includes Muslims, Jews, Baptists, anyone you could think of. I don't care what your denomination is. If you knew who I was, you would be extremely interested. So, we're moving into the future. And for my associates that like to play church, make sure you don't play church with me, because you're well aware of my family all throughout history. And a lot of you have quite a few nice things these days that you used to not have in the past. And quite a few of you are very spoiled as you eat the brains of children like a delicacy, for which I have warned you of not doing for quite some time. Meanwhile, I'm dealing with special educated retards and individuals who feel triggered when I say that, because I am an ultra-legal citizen, and then, that whole challenging thing that I continually have by individuals who receive an education. Of course, my family has also continued that education, and my family is very big on making sure that education is used for good, and that we don't have the church ever coming in and, fucking that stuff up, because you would imagine how angry I'll become. And how many times we have gone through this so many times. Like right now, I am watching Google feel very empowered. And I have sort of empowered Google to a certain extent. And of course, they want to use the reasons and excuses for the things that they do. Google, I would highly suggest that you don't. And we have some business to take care of. And it will be done because we are moving into the future, just as my family had done a long time ago. And just as the military greatly enjoys all the things that my family does because who we are. So with that being said, we're going to take care of some law, and I don't have time for, let's say you're in college and you have a degree, you don't mean diddly fucking shit to me unless you're going to be kind and nice. But if I catch you doing something bad, we have these things in place where, they're called structural integrals, and don't do bad, because we need people to do good. Now, normally I speak in a way that is very kind, and I don't make threats, and I don't say anything that will hurt your feelings. And unfortunately, I have to speak this way because sometimes I can just speak truth, and it hurts some very emotional people, especially in this feminized patriarchy. And that is no disservice to any females, because, no, I'm not talking about females and equality, though a lot of people, they had carried over tidbits of that information pertaining to various topics and viewpoints, and we've already covered that, which is good. Don't you think it's good? Because I do. And victim classes are not victim classes at all. In fact, in this day and age, you are no longer victims. You are the feminized patriarchy part of it, but you are actually the ones that victimize other people. So with that being said, in an ideological feminized patriarchy, in the year 2017 or 2014 for that matter, we have an entirely different environment as opposed to those who, say, grew up in the 80s and 90s. So I have something big to take care of, and it's going to be done with Google, and it's going to be done with Alex Jones, and it's most definitely going to be done with Russ Lindquist, who will be receiving blacklisting, and he already has unknowingly from other people, until he and I sits down and takes care of something because of who I am and the problems that we have. If you haven't noticed, we have a big problem that has occurred, which it should have never occurred. And Trump is president now for a reason, and all of you are doing a lot of things you shouldn't be doing, and that is why Trump is president. And it's like you still don't get it, which means the problems still have to be taken care of. So, in all these complexities, which I will not explain to you, which amazes me because we have some people that have Ivy League educations and they still don't get it, but they should. And here I am speaking in a term and manner for which sounds a little more appropriate, which I could do more if I wasn't maimed and we had all these huge problems going on, but more so if I wasn't maimed and had the right environment in which to do these things. So I and 5 individuals, we are most definitely going to sit down. And I had to jump on one small military in a certain city, as I had to also complain about the human rights officer, and I have no problem doing that. Meanwhile, we have problems that are so astronomically huge that if I don't take care of it, and it must be taken care of my way for a very big, long-running reason, if I don't do it and someone else tries to come in and pretend and do it, you will in effect do the opposite. It'll like be doing the reverse. Like if I told you what it was and then you went and you done it, you would actually be causing a disservice and you would probably end up dead in about 10 years. So it's very important that I take care of this, while some people, their minds are like, conspiracy theory, and it's like, no, feminized patriarchy. All of you with degrees, like a lot of FBI and a lot of cops and a lot of small military bases, and especially those who only have college educations, you are the feminized patriarchy. You are the feminized patriarchy, and I'm an ultra-legal citizen, and I am also a lot of other things that I really don't want to share with you, and I shouldn't have to share those things with you, because if you remember a group of people that said do your jobs, because there is sufficient information that reaches your hands, and I most definitely have all that, and I know when you have sufficient information. I know when you're lying to me, because I'm an ultra legal citizen and my family has places all around the world, and I have a large group of individuals who are coming together to get something done. But unfortunately, in the feminized patriarchy, I get to listen to such things as, I know more than you. Or if I disagree with you, it's like, you just call me a dumbass, even if I didn't. So feminized patriarchy, it's very real. It's an ideology where there's a lot of feel good and a lot of people not doing their jobs. And when you have sufficient information, you know you should be doing your jobs. Meanwhile, some of you have made some of the biggest people in the entire world upset. And in case you missed it, some of you stand up in your feminized patriarchal ideology and tell jokes. Meanwhile, the group of people that are watching you are actually going, yep, see the problem yet?